All right, hi guys. I hope you had a good weekend. We're getting so close to the end of the year. We only have 9 more days, including today. So countdown is real. So last week I had you look at more of the abnormal psychology stuff, and you watched the video of the lobotomist. I haven't finished going through all of your responses yet, but so far it looks like you guys have done a really good job picking up on the things that I needed you to pick up on. The reason I had you watch this video is because this is truly the first time in modern history that people have attempted to actually treat psychological disorders instead of, just leaving people out to die, abandoning them, or just putting them in like a warehouse type facility, like what you would have seen at the beginning, what Dr. Freeman saw at the beginning of his career. So while lobotomies, on their own and the way that they were performed with Dr. Freeman are absolutely barbaric, it was a step in the direction of treatment. And you guys saw how that step continued later on in the second half of the documentary. So I hope that the documentary made a little bit of an impact, even if it was just an, oh my gosh, this is so gross. But this is something that, kind of like doing the wrong thing for the right reason. Can't celebrate it, but we do have to acknowledge that it happened. So what you guys are going to do today and through this week and next Tuesday is work on a project where you are going to be examining or investigating one specific psychological disorder. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you really quickly so I can walk you through the directions. And give like the extra little things that you guys need to be aware of. And then I'll let you go ahead and begin your project. So here's my screen. Okay, so I know this looks like a lot when you first open it up, but I promise it's not that bad. So this week you're going to begin a project where you're investigating a specific disorder. So you're going to sign up for your topic using the live Google Doc that was included in today's assignment. There can be 2 people per class signed up for each topic, but this is still an individual assignment. So you each are doing your own version of the project. I just don't want to have, 30 people do schizophrenia. That's boring for me, and you guys should stretch yourselves. When you turn this in, and I will not be giving you guys the option to turn in the project until the last project day, which is May 5th. When you turn it in, you will be required to turn in both your research and your visual aid. So make sure that you're either writing down notes as you research, or you're copying information into a Google Doc or into Notability or something like that where you can turn it in. You should also keep track of your websites that you're using, as you will need to create a works cited for your keynote. This project is worth 55 points. We're spending 4 school days on this, so I felt like it needed to be worth more than the last project you did where you only got 2 days. And there will be small checkup assignments each day. So for example, today's small assignment is you have to sign up for a topic. You should also start your research to kind of get a basic idea of what your disorder is, but you will get, a couple more days dedicated to research, and then you should have at least 1 to 1.5 days set aside for your keynote development. So what do you have to have for your project? That's all right here in the required information. So you need to have a description or definition of your disorder, so like a basic, this is what it is. Then you're going to give me the history of your disorder. How far back do we see records of something like your disorder appearing? And it might have a different name. For example, PTSD is not PTSD's first name. They used to call it something else at different points in history. Some of you will have a very short history. Others will have a very long, okay? So you just need to have the history of your disorder. When did it appear? Which DSM manual do we start seeing it in? Has it changed since its first inclusion? That kind of thing. You need to include the symptoms of your disorder, or not the symptoms, the causes of your disorder, or what would be something that could make someone likely to have it. So there are not necessarily biological causes for all of these. So what are, factors that seem to be in common with people who are diagnosed with this? Symptoms of your disorder. I had that out of order earlier. And then here's the big one. How would a person's life be impacted by this disorder? Or how might their family's life or others' lives be impacted, if that's an appropriate question for yours? So if you have bipolar disorder, one of the options, what might change about your life? How might you be affected? And you should be going beyond just the direct effects. Like, if one of the side effects is, depression, how might that affect my life? Okay, so if I'm constantly feeling depressed, what might I do or not do? What might I struggle with? That type of thing. Then you need to include treatment options, past and present, and their risks. So, if I have borderline personality disorder or postpartum depression or reactive attachment disorder, how would it be treated? And then how would it have been treated in the past? Again, some of you might not have a past treatment available. That's okay. You can just mention again that your disorder has been recently identified, etc. Is the disorder temporary or not? Some people, there's like one on this list that is for sure temporary. You could make an argument for a couple of others, but that's up to you to discover. And then any other information that you might feel is interesting or helpful to understanding the topic. So with these types of things, I wouldn't necessarily call them fun facts, because these disorders are, difficult to deal with and they are impactful, but, interesting pieces of information that supplement your project. So what you're going to create is a visual aid. So Keynote, a Google Slides, or a PowerPoint. You need to make sure you have all of the required information. You need to make sure the formatting is good, that you've gone through your PowerPoint and made sure that, your sentences make sense, that you haven't misspelled things, that, the pictures don't overlap the words in a way that makes it impossible to read the words, that type of thing. And you need to have at least 5 or more pictures. Make your project interesting to look at, and you need to have a works cited. So right here, this is a project that we usually do in class, and you present, and then you would be explaining more things with your presentation. Obviously, we can't do that with the situation that's going on right now, so you just need to be more detailed on the slides themselves. So just make sure that you're hitting everything you need to do. Make sure that you're doing your research, so that way you can turn in your research. And then you'll see down here the rubric. So all the required information, you'll notice there are 8 topics, so you get 1 point for including each. There are some that require more details, like the history, the causes, impact on life, and treatment options. You need to be a lot more detailed in these situations, so you get extra points for your detail there. For the visual aid, 2 points for formatting, and then 5 points for professionalism, grammar, creativity, etc. 5 points for pictures. A works cited is worth 2 points. You either get them or you don't. And then research, you either get those 10 points or you don't. But the research, like somebody who just submits, 5 bullet points of research is not going to get the same amount of research point as somebody who submits, everything that they looked up, or, the key points from the different topics that they looked up. So I don't need you to turn in like 5 pages of research, but you need to show me that you took notes on each of these different topics before you created your keynote. All right, so that's what you guys have today. So again, if you have any questions about the project, or if you run into an issue when you're trying to sign up, shoot me an email and I will go in, check to make sure that you signed up properly. And if you didn't, I will put your name in. So this is a live Google document, so you should be able to see other people's edits, and everybody else should be able to see yours. So if you're getting on at like 6 o'clock tonight and you don't see any edits, something went wrong. Let me know what's going on. But, you know, if you're getting on at 8 o'clock in the morning when I post this, I mean, you're probably not going to see anybody else changing things yet. So, but that's the whole project. Again, I'm not going to give you guys the option to turn it in until May 5th. There will be small checkup assignments. So today is signing up for your topic. And then you should be starting your research today. So tomorrow I'll let you know in the directions what you need to be getting through tomorrow, and then how you're going to be able to get your check-in points for tomorrow. I think that's it. We're getting there, guys. We're almost done. We're getting there. So I will talk to you guys later. If you need to communicate, email, Zoom, everything's up there. You can do it. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.